high-definition studios at Fox Charlotte. This is Fox Got Game.
NASCAR parks Kyle Busch for the weekend. It should be longer. We'll show you why and have reactions. And we'll introduce you to a Charlotte woman who's a champion in a sport that has its ups and downs, mostly down. Just looking at that makes my stomach flip-flop. Welcome to Got Game. I'm Bruce Snyder. Coming up, Kyle Busch has been a bad boy while Trevor Bayne is back, Jack. The Heels and Pack have a grudge match ending in a goose egg. And, of course, we're jumping from the wild blue yonder. But first, the Panthers are as relaxed as they'll be all season. That's because it's their bye week. Head coach Ron Rivera giving everyone off until Monday, players and coaches alike. Some are still in town. Most have scattered. Before Charles Johnson took off for Georgia, we caught up with the Panthers leader in quarterback sacks. With the big man himself, Charles Johnson, as I get tongue-tied here, let me ask you, how do you look at this week right now? I guess mentally resting up is probably as key as anything.
Yeah, I'm going to just, get away from the game a little bit, rest up, get off my feet, and then come back and get to work.
When you say get away from the game, do you mean completely get away, not even look on the internet, not even watch the games on Sunday?
Yeah, I probably watch some games on Sunday. I mean, Saturday, I watch college football, but I'm not going to be into it at all, I'm going to just be chilling, relaxing.
For the folks at home that sometimes think football players are robots, that you're not actual real people that think and breathe and have a heartbeat and all that, how important is it to do what you're going to do?
Man, it's important, man. Sometimes you just need to, relax, refocus, rethink, get your mind together and then come back and get to work.
Have you had a chance to reflect back on the season so far, the 8 games? Obviously, the record isn't what you guys wanted, but there's been a lot of positives.
I mean, yeah. I probably think about it a couple times this weekend, but not really, I try to look forward all the time. Don't worry about the past.
What is the most important thing that you've learned from the past 8 games that you can apply to the second half of the season?
Man, we got to be consistent, and, we got to find a way to get over this edge and find a way to get some wins,
You know what? Sometimes it's that much. Yeah. It's not like a huge task. It's that much, and that's got to be frustrating for you guys.
I mean, it kind of is, but at the same time, you just got to rebuild, think about the positive things and try to build off that. Try to keep that momentum going and try to just, find the edge where we can get a win.
All right, final question. You got Tennessee coming up a week from Sunday. Are you going to be watching Tennessee's game this Sunday to do some advanced scouting, or is that just something that, you deal with next week during normal game routine?
Yeah, I'll be watching this Sunday. But we already started watching film on them, so it's all good.
All right, Charles, appreciate it. Good season so far. Continued success.
Appreciate it.
Thanks, buddy.
All right.
All right, and tight end Gary Barnidge should be back in town tomorrow night, so we made him an offer he couldn't refuse, hanging out with me and Kelly on set, looking back and peeking ahead when it comes to the Cats. So join Gary, Kelly, and myself Sunday night at 10:30 right here on Fox Charlotte. Kyle Busch has been parked for the weekend. It should be more, much more. In my opinion, NASCAR should suspend Kyle Busch the rest of the season. All right, here's what happened last night. Busch got upset after he and Ron Hornaday bumped during a Texas truck race. Unfortunate, but not something you don't see hundreds of times a year. It's part of racing. Rather than chilling out when the caution came out, Busch in the 18 truck goes after Hornaday in the 33 full speed, sending both into the wall and wrecking their rides. Now, Hornaday is fighting for the truck points title, and this might have taken him out of contention. More importantly, what Kyle Busch did, in my opinion, was stupid and dangerous. Hornaday hit the wall fast and hard. Fortunately, he's okay. But what if Hornaday was hurt badly or God forbid, fatally? Do you then arrest Kyle Busch for murder? Kyle Busch is an adult. He knows better. And yet he keeps doing questionable things, be it driving triple digits in a residential neighborhood or feuding on track with Kevin Harvick or Carl Edwards. The list goes on. I think you need to send a message to Kyle Busch that foolishness will not be tolerated. Suspend him for the rest of the season in all 3 series, Trucks, Nationwide, and Cup. No one is bigger than the sport, including Kyle Busch. That's my story, and I'm sticking to it. Now, here's NASCAR's position on what happened.
We understand the ramifications of the ripple effect of us making this type of a move. But we also take our responsibility very serious as to maintaining control of the event in all the garages. And so it's a balance there that we ultimately have to make a decision. And at the end of the day, we're the ones that have to make that decision and go on.
Boy, just looking at that. Even without Kyle Busch, today's nationwide race seemed to get along nicely, actually. In fact, a surprising finish. Carl Edwards had been dominating, but on the restart with 6 laps to go, here comes his teammate, Trevor Bayne. Remember him? Trevor won the Daytona 500, but has been pretty quiet since. Not today. Bayne grabs a lead and holds on over the last 6 laps. It's his first ever victory on the nationwide circuit. Series later, Ricky Stenhouse finished 6th and has a 17-point lead on Elliott Sadler with 2 races to go. Welcome back. Our call of the game goes to all you folks who thought Everett Withers' comments this week would end up biting him on the keister. It did. Remember, Withers took jabs at NC State's academic integrity. Before the game, Withers and Tom O'Brien shaking hands, making nice, but you know O'Brien wants this one bad. Opening drive, Mike Glennon to TJ Graham. It would be the only touchdown of the game. It's all the Wolfpack needs because the State D shuts down the Carolina O. Giovanni Bernard running this way and that way, winding up with just 47 yards. Meanwhile, quarterback Bryn Renner is sacked 3 times. He would throw 2 more interceptions, including this one right here to David Amerson. Leads to a Wolfpack field goal, and the Pack shuts out the Tar Heels 13-zip. 5 straight wins for State over their rivals. Hey, welcome back, everybody. Let's introduce tonight's guest. She's had her ups and downs, mostly downs. That's good. It's helped make Charlotte's Cheryl Stearns a world and national champion. Cheryl, how you doing?
Oh, real well. Pleasure being here.
Thank you for joining us. You know, when I watch the video of what you do, and we're going to show it in just a moment, I mean, it freaks me out, and that's just me watching it. How did you ever talk yourself the first time into doing it, taking that first step, which is a long way down?
Well, it's something I always wanted to do since I was 8 years old, and it was more fear of the unknown, making that first step. But I always want to know what it was like to go 120 miles per hour. Is it
what you thought it was, or was it completely different?
It was what I thought it was.
Which is what?
There is no sensation once you jump out of the airplane. It's like floating on a cushion of air, but there's a lot of wind against you, up to 200 miles per hour.
See, I think there would be a sensation. The sensation would be, ah!
Yeah. Well, you don't get the stomach to the mouth sensation.
Okay. Let's take a look at this video that we were talking about. This is absolutely amazing. See, the object is not just to jump out of the plane, but to make sure to land on the target, on the ground, or get as close to it as you can. It seems almost impossible. How far up are you jumping during the competitions?
Well, there's 2 types I compete in, and the first one you saw where I was doing style, where I have to do 6 set maneuvers against the clock. And this one I'm coming in for an accuracy where I'm landing on a 2-centimeter target the size of your wrist watch.
All right, so you're landing on a 2-centimeter target. How far?
3,500 feet you start. And then you guide your airplane, your parachute. It's just like a glider.
Look at that, boom, right on it. Now, and we're going to see it from your point of view also. I understand that you're a champion and that's why you're good, but how do you do that? How do you maneuver it where you're able to land right on it?
It's a lot of jumps, a lot of practice. You're competing against Mother Nature, basically. You've got the thermals, the winds that go up and down, and you're just doing a rate of closure. Does the target get too far away from me or close in? And then I steer, as you can see my left hand there, I steer the toggles that brings the tail down, and it's just like an airplane on a wing where I slow it up, I can back it up a little bit, I can sink it, I can go forward with it, so I can maneuver and I would just work it with the winds.
What's the hardest thing about your sport? Something someone might not understand or appreciate?
The hardest thing is it's a very challenging sport, but it's one you have to respect. And if you don't respect it, it can eat you. And that's, I think, the hardest part is where people don't respect the sport. Otherwise, it is a wonderful sport. It's fun. It's something that it's a feeling that you will never experience anywhere else in the world of any type of sport.
And you've been doing it for how long now?
39 years.
Do you still get the same thrill?
Absolutely, all the time. You know, there's not the adrenaline other than the pressure of my competition, because I have almost 19,000 jumps. So jumping out of an airplane is not the issue. It's how I perform once I'm out of that aircraft.
Coming up, more with the lady who has ice water in the veins when we get back.